So welcome to another Zoom with the Earth Nouveau, exploring consciousness. And today we are going to explore the comfort zone. So let's see what it's like to be comfortable in the comfort zone. Can we be uncomfortable in a comfort zone? I haven't really prepared much for this, but I'm quite interested in that and see what will come of that, because I've seen a note the other day on Facebook, somebody saying that we can't grow in the comfort zone. And I would have agreed with that. I've always used to say sacred neutral doesn't create, and comfort zone, we obviously are so used to growing through discomfort, because it's almost like it catapults us into having to do something about, wanting to be comfortable. But then once we're comfortable, does it not create at all? Do we have to get back out being uncomfortable in order to create? Or what does comfort actually mean? I mean, we comfort other people, right? We support. Comfort is very often, considered something to support other people, right? Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I'll just keep admitting people here. Yeah, so we are extending comfort to other people. And then why would we not be comfortable with our comfort zone? And why would that not create? So that's something I want to look at. And we've already started talking about, the last couple of sessions, we were talking about karmic, dharmic path and everything, and we all know there's comfort and discomfort on karmic and dharmic paths, that goes without saying. But isn't the whole idea of being here, getting to know ourselves, so self-development, who are we? And how can we be of service? How can we be a contribution? And then also to be happy, to be peaceful, to be content, to be calm. All of these things, for me, mean being comfortable. So what is this idea of having to strive towards all of that? And then once we're there, we say that this doesn't create now. That is just what I've been wanting to play with a little bit, So what have you, since you have seen that post on Facebook, that's what we're going to do. What is comfort? What comes up for you when we start talking about this? Is there growth in comfort, in being comfortable? What does it even mean, being comfortable? Who wants to have a stab at that and see where this exploration is going to take us? I have, as usual, no direction, less than ever.
Hello.
And I'm very comfortable with that too. Marissa?
Hi, yes, hi. For me, it's been deciphering what's mine to do and what's just my perspective to shift on things.
Yeah.
Still working on that. Things still trigger me, but then definitely attempting to release the always having to do and say and going into finding the joy in this present moment. There's always more to shift and grow, and there's always more expansion. But how do we not get lost in the always attaining, and how do we come into our own and recognize the beauty of this now moment and not miss it because we're always looking for the next thing?
Okay, so what I'm understanding here is from you is your comfort zone sounds quite dynamic, really, and empowered, right?
Attempting to be. Yes.
So how do you perceive that statement of we can't grow in a comfort zone?
I feel we could all grow either in comfort or discomfort, but finding the sweetness in wherever we are at this present moment, because there's always sweetness there to be enjoyed. It's not always this future point. It's not this heaven spot. It's not this out there million years later. It's like finding that present state of peace.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thanks, Marissa. What else? What else does somebody else has? What do you think about comfort, creating in the comfort zone, growing in the comfort zone?
I would like to share something about that. Because of course it's different perspectives. What do you think is a comfort zone? So when I'm talking about comfort zone, I'm talking by my own experience. Of course, you can be growing and creative in a comfort zone, but what I experience is like I don't know how to make maybe analogy, like in nature. When it's harder, maybe a flower or certain plants to grow, they grow with more beauty, you know. The torsions and distortions, it creates a different path, a different way. I don't know how to explain, a different thing, you know.
So is that like a forced, is that a growth out of necessity?
Yeah, because what I experience always when I've been in the comfort zone, which I thought was super creative and good, it came the discomfort, you know. There I was not choosing; it wasn't an election from me, you know. But following the path of embodiment and realizing that in a way certain plants we grow, you know, with our potential in the discomfort zone. Because now the other day after we talk about the choices, you know, I've been so deep about that, you know. And what I'm choosing now is whatever the discomfort zone or the discomfort it is, I choose to create something different in me, you know. At the moment, sorry, just the last thing. And at the moment, it's no because at the moment, in this present moment, because now I'm fluctuate and growing with this new thing that's happening in my life. I have lost it now. Hold on, give me a second. No, I lost it. Sorry. I know very well. And also, it's true that the energies are quite exuberant at the moment, you know. Yes. That's it. I lost my friend. Sorry.
Yes, it will come back, darling. It will come back. So, but thanks because you brought up choice. All right. And from experience, what probably choice is something that we have choice all the time. We keep choosing all the time, having a cup of tea, doing this Zoom now. You know, we sometimes forget that we choose all the time. Every single thing that happens to us is not just happening to us, but we're choosing it. And I think what sometimes could happen is then when we get into a state of comfort where we feel peaceful, where we feel calm, content, and where we probably don't seek that much, we may be not choosing that much that we could. So I think when I would almost say that growth is possible, comfort, discomfort zone, absolutely. The growth in the comfort zone is even more for us to take responsibility for it, to keep on choosing, consciously choosing with full awareness, not because we're being pushed into a certain corner where we can't take it anymore, that we have to make a choice, but really appreciating the fact that as a multidimensional celestial being on this terra, on this terrestrial turf here, you know, there will always be another choice. There are always more choices. Growth is innately our birthright, legacy, responsibility. I think it becomes probably more of a responsibility rather than a necessity.
I agree with you, Martina, completely. And I see our addiction to the discomfort as our trauma. It's an old paradigm for me. It is that belief that we formed. When we are uncomfortable, we will move. If you are comfortable, you want to stop. Actually, in my vision, it's pretty natural to rest after disease. And what we had experienced with trauma, it is trauma, it is disease. And we need rest. Maybe in the beginning, when you come to that comfort zone, you want to stop, but you won't stop if you really explore, if you really moving. And you got that taste of new paradigm, and you won't stop. And growing, what is that in essence? It's remembering, it's returning, remembering who you are. And when you really remember who you are, you will do what you came here to do. If you don't remember, you are not really growing. You are really still in struggle and in old net of limitation experience. So I completely agree with you that yes, we can grow in comfort, and it is supported by completely. I will again talk about this second emotional body, that is not emotional body that is supporting struggle or joy as we know it in limitations duality experience, like opposites. We can step into I don't have much words for that emotional body. I define that emotional body as bliss of unfoldment, bliss and shine of remembering, and perpetuating that bliss more and more and more in your existence, in who you are, in what you are doing. So if we step into that emotional body as trigger for our growing or remembering or creating or exploring, that is our essence, then it's not stoppable, because it's our nature. You just live your life, you just embody your existence, embody your who you are.
That's probably what you call the second emotional body. We could call that probably sacred neutral, have arrived at that space of sacred.
I see neutral as part of duality. It's that stop point of choice. Will I see and explore old paradigm with duality possibilities, opposites, or I can choose from that neutral to step into that bliss of exploration, that and it's not that wishful thinking. This is a real experience inside of stepping in that vibration. It's a what you call luminal thinking. This is kind like close of this, in my understanding, to that vibration, to that state when you already so much tuned into everything that is real, that initial hologram of this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in my remembering, like some races of our star family, they call it our bliss, what we call bliss as humanity, as in our duality limitation experience, their lowest emotional state. Especially I know that about Hathor's race from Venus. So this is kind like giving me material to think about that bliss as that state that is bringing co-creation without struggle.
Yeah, yeah. This day, sacred neutral and your second emotional and all of that. For me, I would express that as the unlimited point of view, where in particular, unlimited possibilities. That's where the conditioning we have left behind a paramount of our conditioning, so we can actually have an awareness of unlimited possibilities. So you can have an awareness of unlimited possibilities in your comfort zone, much more so than in a discomfort zone, because you are distracted. The comfort zone is where there is almost or very little distraction, so that you can perceive that the unlimited possibilities, where you can actually work with, just like what Irina said, with your illuminal thinking, you know, where you are in the flow completely. And that's where then you can choose from that space. Alfredo, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to elaborate because I like what Ernest said, especially about like the last time we're talking about like you don't have emotion, you don't have experience. And I was thinking about myself as like, yeah, like for me, the comfort zone was always like internal when I'm like trying to recollect myself and that source connection. And then for me, like this comfort zone would be like, all right, I'm feeling good. Let me go back out there into the world, have fun like a kid around all these other people and like lift other people up. And yeah, so I was like, I kind of changed my paradigm. I was like, okay, let me change my belief system. Let me quit being so internal, like staying in that comfort zone. Let me step out of it. Let me go for that experience. Let me be a kid again and like be that social butterfly that's having fun all around me. And it's like a big rush. It's like, yeah, I'm on the roller coaster. And like, whoa, roller coaster going super quick. And all right, you know, maybe I'll kick back if I'm getting out of things are getting too intense. Then they can be flipped around too. So
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do here, actually, to flip the concept of something, because, you know, most people, you know, have a bit of a, like, I have to get out of my comfort zone in order to create, right? But what if, you know, you can create better almost, or because we don't have a distraction. What, Alfredo, you could be a kid by being in the comfort zone. What if that is your comfort zone, to be a kid, right? So it's like we often identify certain boxes, and then we make ourselves wrong, right? So it's almost like we've achieved this space of feeling peaceful, content, calm, restful, and all of a sudden we make ourselves wrong. We call it, oh, this is, now I'm in a comfort zone, now I'm not doing enough, completely having forgotten why we're on this journey in the first place, right? What does that bring up?
yeah, just think I was like, yeah, I'm here to have fucking fun. Like it's not so much about oh work, do this, do that. It's like no, I want to enjoy the experience that I have here at this moment. You know, just think about fun, joy, and just being a fucking kid again.
So that's
I
how
want to be a kid, you know, like this. So I want to incorporate just being a kid again.
fantastic.
It is comfortable. It's because I see my kids like jumping around doing all sorts of things. Like they're just everywhere. You know, it's like I miss being like that. Like that's what. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you are breaking up a little bit, but we got the gist of it, and you've started us off here, because that goes with the questions of how do you do comfort? You know, being a kid, being, you know, joyful, being, you know, with ease, don't think so much, don't have all these definitions, right? What else? What else is comfort for us? Let's define it a little bit from a different perspective. How do you guys do comfort? Lana, you got your hand up. Hello.
Hi, everybody. What I was thinking here is that as you guys were talking, and I agree with some of the points that were made before, I feel like when you're in your comfort zone, yes, you're more comfortable to think. And when you're thinking, you can co-create from that point. But with that said, I'm thinking when you're not in a comfort zone, could that be where forced evolution comes in, where you are forced to create out of the discomfort that you're feeling to be to go forward? I don't. This is what I was thinking anyway. Comfort is a peaceful state where you have all this room to come up with new ideas and to create something new in your environment or in your thoughts. But the discomfort is when you're forced to evolve, which is called the forced evolution state. What are your thoughts on this? Anybody?
Absolutely. Irina, you go first.
Go, Martina. I'm talking too much.
No, not Jesus. That's me. I'm talking too much. You go. Go, go, go.
In my vision, you completely, it was Lana, yes?
Yes.
Lana, you're completely right. I see it as that belief that we created to go to limitation experiences. To say, I'm not capable to have ideas, I'm not capable to have inner guidance. I need someone or something to tell me what to do, how to grow, what to remember. It is our, in my understanding, like we already mentioned, it's that fixing of situation on many levels. And some our levels on other expansion state, other dimension densities, doesn't matter. We have the distortion that involved in limitation experience as well. And that us, or we can call it guides, guardians, masters, whoever, angels, whoever, it doesn't matter. They are fixing their situation as well in relation to us, because we became that center of unfoldment in this universe with our experience. So yes, Lana, I completely agree with you that we can be under influence of that part of us, or we can remember who you are and step in co-creation with those parts of us. It is completely different experience. This is how I see it. Yes, step out from forced evolution and step into our essence of who we are in this universe. We're all explorers, and it doesn't matter what level of consciousness you are occupying today. It's my vision. So we need to cancel
I agree.
that belief. Yeah,
I agree, and you brought up something that I just thought about. There is that when you're in this forced evolution state, and you were talking about the guides, guardians, and whomever, it could be that you're put in this forced evolution discomfort to please them and not to please yourself. So when you take back your comfort, you are taking back your power, your sovereignty, from giving it away to someone, something, or some other species using you here. Isn't that right? Isn't that what you're saying?
exactly. And in this way, we will heal our universe without doing any forced movements. We will just be who we are, co-creating with all layers. And this is how we return that false light into their direction to explore what they need to explore and leave our place of exploration, and return back real light beings, a real, again, wording, we call it, I even don't want to use that word, it's so misunderstood, disconnotated love. This is, I see as vibration of that emotional body, that excitement of exploration. This is that harmony of co-creation, not vibration of destruction and having that kind of exploration. It is exploration as well, but it's not belong to our universe. We didn't choose stepping into this universe destruction.
Yes, I get what you're saying. I love it. I love where you're coming from with that idea.
Yeah.
It's all about us taking back our power now, and not
remembering that we stepped here to co-create, not to co-create as a major tool of exploration, not distract as exploration, because it is exploration as well, yes. But it's not what we choose stepping into this universe.
So fantastic. Alfredo, did you want to say to that? Your hand's still open before I give my bit?
No, sorry, I forgot to put it down. Just want to put Wi-Fi on, so okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is all great stuff, and this is why I love that. That's why I wanted to talk about this comfort thing, because it's really almost the vision ahead, right? What are we going to do? This joyful exploration of consciousness. And that doesn't take away, it doesn't matter which path we're on, if you just come in for karmic resolution or, move on to the dharmic path already, wherever we are, going back and forth, there's no linearity to any of that anyway. The thing is, what we need something, we are visionaries, right? We all are visionaries. But what I'm often seeing, not just, with others, but myself as well, is that we keep on jumping back into the old box of discomfort, right? Because this is what we have been used to create from for eons of time, right? We have to be really vigilant, devoted, disciplined, whatever you want to call it, to stay out of the old box, to acknowledge it when we find ourselves in and come back out again, and keep that carrot in front of us, our visionary, own personal, individual carrot that guides us, that light that guides us. Now, there's a couple things I want to say, because Irina already mentioned memorizing, memory. We are remembering. This is the great remembering. So we talked about that before, it's like, are we actually really creating here, or are we remembering who we truly are? Are we remembering what we have already created in our fetus of the womb planning? Because we've created everything already. We've put the contracts together, and then now this is now playing it out, right? So remembering, memory. Now the word memory, look at the word memory itself, is mem is a very ancient Hebrew word and means water, and ori means light. And we are 70% water, the brain is 90% water, and we are storing light. We are storing all those memories from all these times before and ahead of us. And this is now that, and also you mentioned the illuminal thinking. So what if the creation in the comfort zone, here's my point now, we have to acknowledge what memory is. We have to acknowledge the DNA technology that we have, which is water and light and sound. And what if that new creation in this comfort zone is staying in the flow, water, light, sound, staying in the flow, so much so that we are no longer creating from a mental capacity, but using the brain, using the mental capacity in aid of actualizing what the flow can attract, and how we can then turn this into something material. For me, the main thing with creating, remembering in the comfort zone is to stay in the flow, to acknowledge your technology, to acknowledge your signature frequency, to keep it vibrant, light, water, flow, so that then we can start attracting. Law of attraction, universal law of attraction. The universal law of attraction will always assist us in the growth process, from a, not necessarily from a discomfort space, but from a comfort space, from a what is now available to me that I haven't actually considered possible yet.
And in this state, you don't need to return to old paradigm. You will co-create with more expanded world. And then you can embody, bring into here on earth, that something brand new.
Exactly.
So
And
in
then-
other words, you're saying that the universe is working with us and not against us.
Yep.
And in this way, the synchronicities are taking place and happening for us when we're working from that capacity.
Synchronicity
This is
can
exciting.
be,
This is so cool.
And guys, this is so important to acknowledge why it is okay to be in the comfort zone, right? Because as soon as you get out of your comfort zone again and you start going into distraction, and you're going into external validation and trauma and everything, guess what? The universal law of attraction is going to get to you. You're going to fall back again, because it's all available. Yeah. Just because we're doing the journey and we become, self-illuminated masters, it's an ongoing practice. Right? That's the discipline, if you want to call it that. It's that devotion to stay on that path, and to start reaching out and knowing that the universe has your back.
and that devotion, discipline, not forced, because it's coming from your excitement, inner joy, inner fire. You will go, but then you don't want to fall asleep and become that wishful thinking that it's everything perfect around me. You will see stuff around, because we are only starting coming from that limitation disease. We just starting. So your can be work and joy and the discipline just to say what you want here around you, what you don't want, into universe. As a human being, I don't want that. I cancel that. Not in my universe anymore. And will be heard. You will. This is our co-creation, even without real having partner, having universe as a partner of co-creation, establishing field for our brand new experience, for our play, continuation of our play.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah.
And
I
it's
was
also
thinking of
Lana, go.
I was thinking of a good example of comfort and discomfort by using the idea of your garden, for example, or a plant. You plant a flower plant, and if that plant is not comfortable, which means it's in discomfort, it will die. It will not grow. But if it's comfortable and it has a good sun or shade or whatever that particular species requires, it will be in a comfort zone, and it will grow, it will expand, it will express itself. And you will see the universal beauty of that flowering plant, wouldn't you?
We can even take this. You just reminded me of something I read or heard the other day. The comfort zone and the universal backing, I really like that. Yeah. When you are in your comfort zone, and depending on if you define it like, oh, I'm hiding in my comfort zone, that's a different story. Yeah, we're talking about the comfort zone from a different perspective. We're talking about the comfort zone. We've already arrived at the place where we actually feel content, happy, and peaceful. Yeah. We can also talk about the other comfort zone before, on as well. But for what I was going to say is, like, for instance, the comfort zone doesn't even have to feel that comfortable. I'm not saying the comfort zone needs to be comfortable. Yeah, let that sink in. The comfort zone is a zone where there are infinite possibilities. There's no judgment anymore. There just is what is. So there are plants out there that there's a fungi, because I've been reading up on mycelium and fungi, or fungi, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's a fungi that comes in to support the flowers when there's a drought. Yeah, that's almost like a comfort zone of the flower, knowing, it's almost a trust, knowing that the universe has my back. The universe is going to send me something to co-create with, to assist the best possible outcome.
It's not even sent, it's already there. It's already established. It will be taken care of.
Yeah. So the comfort zone requires a certain dose of trust. Right?
Yes, exactly what I was going to say just now.
100%.
If the plant trusts that the mycelium will be there in the soil and it's got its back.
Yeah.
It's not even
So
trust.
the universe
it's
has provided that.
Trust.
Sorry. It's not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
trust.
the knowing.
It's knowing.
It's knowing.
It's
It knows
knowing.
that it's
No
there.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so trust, the way I define trust is, the trust is not hope. I'm not talking about hope, trust. Trust is a knowingness that whatever is that way. So I trust that, let's say I have a relationship with somebody and I know this person loves to go watches football and everything, and is a fanatic, let's just say a football fanatic. And I would like to do something different. Yeah. I trust that that person will go to the football match rather than do something with me. I trust because I know that person. Yeah. I don't hope. Trust is not hope. It's a different way of looking at it. I learned that in Access. They look at trust. I trust. Trust is one of the 5 important things in a relationship. I trust what my husband will be doing or my wife will be doing because I know them. I don't hope. I'm not like expecting or projecting or living in a weird little fairy dream. I know what he or she is like, so I trust what he will choose or she will choose. But anyway, on the side.
Martina,
So the
before
trust.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I just say this before we go on?
Yes.
Before I forget. So, what I was thinking as you were saying, you trust, and then you, as Irene was saying, you have the plant has this knowing. Trust and then the knowing because the universe has its back, and then that brings it into comfort.
Yes.
So it's trust, knowing, comfort.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I wanted to say. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. So what I'm hearing, Martina, is that before you were speaking about trust, and now it ties up with that. Really, comfort and discomfort are just conditions. So it really is my choice whether I'm in either of them to really be in that devotion and flow. And I can also be trusting in discomfort. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No right or wrong. Everything we do is look at the box. And then we take the box apart and we reframe it. We give it a different meaning. But again, we're not defining it just in a new way. We're just looking at it. I'm thinking, oh shit, how much have I made myself wrong by being in a comfort zone or by being comfortable? I mean, ask yourself the question. We all had places, spaces, times where we felt really comfortable. Now, if one of your friends phones up and says, oh, how are you doing? Would you say I'm really comfortable? How often do you say, oh, I'm really comfortable? I just did that right now. Friend asked me, how are you doing? And I'm comfortably chilling. And I'm like, this is so weird to say that even. Because immediately, oh, she's chilling, she's comfortable. What the fuck? She's not doing anything. And what is going on? And I'm not good. And it's like, whoa, allow ourselves to be comfortable, people, right? It's okay. We're doing all this bloody work to be comfortable. That's not
remind me of in the wintertime when somebody would call and you'd say, what's happening? And you'd say, oh, I'm cooking some comfort food because it's winter time, you know.
Mhm.
So that's another way for us to go with the comfort food.
Yeah.
And again, we can remember, we can return to remembering, because it is kind like basis for our stepping into that brand new experience. We have to remember and remember a lot, and we will continue remember establishing that playground, that new playground, new original playground. It will be different. But we will remember, we will continue have those pieces of limitations coming towards us, even like you said, Martina, our language, our vocabulary. Comfort, it's kind like punishment, inner punishment for some people. It is old paradigm. And the more you see that stuff, the more you understand our belief system we created to support limitation experiences. And stepping into that new experience, we will change our beliefs. We will cancel old ones. And whenever I see that in me, when I'm stepping into that definitions of our previous experiences, I all time cancel. I all time look into root way that, and a lot lately for me personally, maybe it's universal, maybe it's personal, coming my belief system that hold me in particular relations with dimensional expansion, with guides, guardians, angelic masters. I'm looking at that, and I'm finding myself, it's uncomfortable to look into that relation as co-creation because it was established for eons as codependency. And I was playing and agreed to have experience of being listening, not saying my word. You see, so I'm now looking into that, establishing my playground for my human experience.
So all the hierarchy and the competition and all of that from the old paradigm, we need to daily just destroy and uncreate, release, let go, whatever you want to call it.
All the time.
And when it comes up, and as Irina says, it's not just in this reality. It's not just from your bubble to the next bubble of the next human being. We're going through all the holograms, dimensions, time streams, galaxies, universes. Destroy and uncreate, destroy and uncreate, destroy and uncreate, because this is the thing that keeps us locked in a false comfort zone or in a discomfort zone, and doesn't create. It does not create. It does not create what you want to actualize into your reality. And it's the same with definitions. any definition, anything that you make a significance, any diagnosis, yeah? Interesting point of view, yeah? Do I really need to put the label on it? Because when you put the label on, it's going to get much more difficult to come out of it again. If you don't put the label on, take the label off and just look at, how do I feel? What do I perceive? What do I see? What do I hear? Use your 5 senses. What do I intuit? Use your 6th sense. But leave the label out. Sometimes the label is good to look at certain things, but then remind yourself, don't get caught up in the label. It helps you to maybe seek some additional information, but it can take you out of your comfort zone, because it comes, every label comes, it comes with a competition, comes with a hierarchy, comes with the entire projection and expectations of the narrative, of the collective. That's what the label carries. And this is why we're looking at labels, because when we talk about these energies, we call it, these are labels. And we get
So what you're saying,
those.
So what you're saying, Martina, is we destroy and uncreate the many layers of the word Irina used, codependency, because all those layers had us in a codependent relationship with them, and we are stepping out of this old paradigm that we have lived in for so long, and we are standing now as grown-ups in our reality. We are no longer the codependent child to the higher layers, because it goes beyond our world. And since we are in this amnesia state, we didn't know that before, but now all this new information is coming to us. We are getting the realization that we are more than we've heard, read, or studied. And so we are expanding from this point of view now, being this greater individual, this better person. And we're taking back all of our power and bringing it back into our heart space and working out from there into this 5th world of peace that we are stepping into. Yes?
Absolutely. And look, it takes us back to the sovereignty rules, you know, that sovereignty, and the sovereignty that we are implementing here on this hologram. We have to have our sovereignty rules fortified in all the other holograms at the same time. Yeah. Be that now multidimensionals, extraterrestrials, extra dimensionals, and the versions of ourselves. Yeah, even that. You know, I mean, we didn't know probably that we had those before, but now we do, with all the agencies and everything. These are all, you know, the boundaries. And also, when I say destroy and uncreate those labels and those relationships, yeah, I mean, this is one of the tools I use every day, every night. Not every night, I'd be lying because I forget, but I destroy and uncreate all my relationships with my body, with my business, with my daughter, with my husband, with my house, with everything, with the cat, so that the next morning you get back up again and say, okay, let's create. Who's still here? And they're not going away. Yeah, you're not killing anyone by doing that. You're just letting go of the energies that are having a grip on you, that keep you in distress, that keep you in limitation.
You can see it as, completely agreed with you, you can see it as a two-way street. It's not only universe creating with you, you creating with universe, you creating with all those layers of universe. And without you pronouncing what you want, how you see your place of your creation, establishing that playground rules and bringing toys into on your side, universe will co-create with what you are putting in. If you're not putting your interest, your intention, your desire for experience, universe will work only with what you are putting out. This is what we are returning now to remember, that we need to have voice. We need to have intention for what we want to experience, with who we want to experience, what kind of portion of universe we are creating with. And that portion that you don't create will just disappear from your universe. Because you're not using it. And if you see it, you can say, I don't agree with this kind of presence in my universe. I'm not interested to co-create with that part of old paradigm. So please go where you will find someone with who you can co-create.
Choice, pure choice. Pure choice from a place of comfort, sovereignty, self-mastery, trust, knowingness. Not from a place of discomfort, because the choices, the awareness are limited in the place of discomfort. They still create, because everything creates, but from a limited perspective. Tanya first, then Amy.
So there's a great quote by Einstein that I actually just posted yesterday, and it says, "I did not come to my understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe through my rational mind." Mm-hmm. And I love this discussion about comfort, because there really is, this conditioning for us to think, right? Instead of feel, instead of be. And that's really what this golden age is about, right? Moving from the mind, that energy of Pisces, into the energy of Aquarius, into the energy of the heart. So I just, think about that comfort zone of the global narrative always being in your head, spinning out in your head, thinking. And that's a comfortable place to be, because it's where we've been taught to be.
Absolutely. And this is also where the habitual patterns are, because you're so habitually used to that. That's a comfort zone. We're not talking about. That's the opposite. That's actually, for me, the discomfort zone. But yeah, because it's totally limiting. Amy, and then Shobha.
This is great. Thanks, guys. This is really going to help me make my decision that I need to make to an event that I need to go to, because it's an old paradigm that I would be entering into if I go to this event. And I also want to talk about forced evolution, because I feel like sometimes forced evolution, when Lana said that, I thought, oh, that is how I got to where I am today, by forced evolution. So I'm getting a clear understanding of, I think Irina was saying something about, is it satisfying other beings, or you're doing it, that I'm a little confused still about forced evolution, because I feel like I made the choice to become awake and do this work and the work that I started years ago. So, but as far as being, I don't even know if that has to do with comfort, but but I was coming out of, that's what it was, because forced evolution forced me out of my comfort zone, because I would have been still the same person, I feel, if I hadn't found these people to work with and help me out of my comfort zone. So
Amy, when you're saying forced evolution, you were comfortable in your discomfort. And forced evolution is the discomfort zone that I was coming from. And we do get comfortable in that discomfort zone, thinking it's the real, is where we're supposed to be, and this is where we're supposed to work out of. But this is the condition that our past generations have had, and they passed it on to us because they didn't know any better. So we're working to destroy and uncreate that, and get into the real zone of the real comfort.
Right, which I agree, which I feel is more synchronicities happening with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I see that it was forced evolution, but the forced, because I didn't know anything about this stuff. So it did force me. Does that make sense? Am I not making sense?
No, you are making sense. You are making sense. It's just two different things, really. Forced evolution is one thing, but you gave us a really nice example of how we can also define, and often it is defined. The comfort zone is defined as I'm comfortable there. But how we really comfortable? Right.
But I felt like I was comfortable in my life.
Yes.
That's the thing that is confusing. I was comfortable. But one and another thing too, when I'm in my comfort, I don't like to use the word zone, but because when I'm comfortable, let's say everything's going, so there is somebody who speaks a little word to me, maybe somebody else, and I grab onto that. There speaks 3 words. And I grabbed onto that years ago. And it was like, whoa, I want to do that. Like, that is my life. It showed me like, my God, Amy, your life is very limited. This will expand it. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
So the voice that you were hearing, sorry, Martina, is probably what you were referring to when Irina was saying you were hearing the voice of those beyond you who are trying to guide you, or the angels or the guardians, which you were once codependent to. Yes? You follow what I'm saying? You're codependent to that voice, but now you take that voice out and you rely on your core essence of who Amy is.
You even don't need to take that voice out. Try to co-create with that voice. Try to establish relations with that voice, not just listening, but asking your things. Communicate with that voice.
Yeah, communicate with that, but not be codependent to it. Be independent at the same time. So you become equal with that. Yes?
Equal, but not independent. It's co-creation. You can't be independent because you are that universe. You are everything.
Yeah. But when we talk in our language, we have to define so we understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So the word is interdependent. That's the word we're looking for. Interdependent. Yeah. And also the other thing, before Shoba, you're still on. We got to call the tricksters out, Amy.
Yeah. I agree.
This is your comfort zone. Is this really my comfort zone? So this is one thing we need to look at, yeah? Because the comfort zone, the trickster tells us, you're comfortable with that. That's fine. That's enough.
Yeah, that's a difficult one for me. That's difficult. I know I get a lot of tricksters hanging around.
Yeah.
That try to say you need to go.
Yeah, but now you know what it's like. You know the new comfort zone that that actually creates.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm standing in my spot and I'm making this decision. And it's almost like this, like, nope, this is it. This is what I'm doing, and nobody can then penetrate.
Fantastic.
So thanks for that, because I totally made my decision.
Good. Shoba, are you there? We'll get her back. She might have, because I think she's in the shop, so she might have just got a client or something. Hey, well actualized. Let's hope it is that. Marissa was saying something about challenge, which I like as well. I once was at my own vision quest and move. My challenge was that I was comfortable and I thought I should be challenged. Yeah. It's a very interesting energy as well. Yeah. It's almost like a bit of victimhood energy, right? I can only choose when I'm challenged. It's going back to the old discomfort, comfort thing, we're seeking out challenges. Now, That's the old way of actualizing. We can just choose. What if you could just choose without creating a challenge, a misery, trauma, limitation first? Shoba. Darling, we can't hear you. Now you muted yourself. There seems to be some. Now let's try that. The mute is off, but seems to be something with your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so it's unplugged. Yeah, amazing show as always. Sorry I'm a bit in and out, but I just can't stop coming in to be part of this.
Good.
It's just your subject matter is just great. And hearing this within what I'm hearing is really stepping up to the plate and accepting the full responsibility of ending the co-creation and codependence and create 100% directly with my ancestors, all my selves as equals, and fully accepting that instead of constantly going around the back route of please, 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 or something like that. It's really stepping up and saying, I'm part of this. You're the ones who all made me as well. I'm here now. I'm part of you and part of this. And to hear all of you putting it out in different ways is just magnificent. Because just about an hour before coming in here, my partner and I were talking about whether to change our country again. And you know what? I'm comfortable here. Really comfortable. And to be able to say, I'm comfortable here. So with all of what you've put out, thank you. I too had a decision to come to. And being here with all of you, it just expands so much my own perception of what I'm here to do.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Shoba.
Thank you, all of you.
Now, I want to say something to this hierarchy competition, yeah, and what we're moving into Pisces, into Aquarian age now. We used to, the sacred geometry, yeah, we used to work with was the pyramid. Well, everybody knows what a pyramid looks like. It was the pyramid, yeah, the hierarchy. Maslow's pyramid, right? Hierarchical, you know, like you've heard about that one. Now we're going into a torus, Torus, which looks a little bit like a donut. Yeah, this is the sacred geometry we're working with now. So no longer the pyramid.
Martina, can you show that again? I couldn't really see it.
It's really not that great, but it looks like a donut. Look here, like a donut.
Okay.
Inside out. And I thought from a sacred geometry perspective, you know, it's quite an interesting way of looking at it, because you guys mentioned, you know, the hierarchy and the competition and everything. And there is no hierarchy, there's no competition in that donut, right? There's the inside where we're imploding and exploding. We're working on our own journey, and then we're just coming out, and then we're going back into our own journey, and then we're coming out, we're co-creating, we interacting with each other, and we go back into our own journey. You know, it's a lovely way of looking at that. This is the new sacred geometry of the paradigm that we're in now. Okay.
It's almost like an hourglass. You go up
it's
and around and come
they
back.
say it's like a donut, you know, and it's got, you know, never ending, that torus. Yeah, torus, Torus. I haven't really learned much more on this yet, but I'm looking into this a little bit, you know.
I said a lot, and I see Earth coming into her own toroidal field, the human body, you know, when we're in our energetic blueprint, that also becomes a toroidal field. We've got the toroidal field from the heart. So it's really, I think, really relevant of this ascension of humanity and like where energetically we're going.
Oh, okay. I didn't even, you see, because I'm not a native speaker, I didn't even realize that the toroidal field is actually the Taurus. Thanks
Yes.
for mentioning that. I didn't even know that, but that's so fucking cool. That makes a lot of sense now, right? Oh, thanks for mentioning that. Very good. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Fantastic. I was just looking at crystals, you know, looking at our, because we call ourselves, you know, DNA technology, and literally we are crystalline in nature, from the water and from, you know, there's crystals in the ears, our teeth are crystals, everything are crystals. And that falls nicely, maybe we can mention that, is a bit of a jump, but if you are in your comfort zone, in the new kind of comfort zone that we are discussing today, which has unlimited possibilities, and you actually activate your crystalline structure because you just know that every single thing, everywhere in the blood, in the lymph, in the ears, in the nose, everywhere are crystals. So you become a memory stick. We are memory sticks. And all we need to do is plug ourselves in. Right?
Indeed.
And again, this is very, you know, when we look at definitions, what we said earlier on, you know, we don't want to limit ourselves in a definition because there's so many misapplied and misidentified projections and expectations that are imprinted in the definition that we then imprint on our crystalline structure, right? Oh, where is this going? Totally lost.
It's beautiful, Martina. I don't know if you guys can see it when Martina said plug yourself back in. A little spider just came like phew, started building a little, and there's a, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a spider making a home here, and I thought, oh, the original weaving.
Yeah. I lost
Can
my.
I say a couple words about this Taurus, this toroidal field? This is science. This is science. They see our heart creating the toroidal field. And this is the biggest field that anything in our body can create. So yes, returning to our original essence, this is that heart energy, that luminal thinking, not thinking, but it's that co-creation thing can happen only when you are in this field, when you centered. This is where I'm talking about second emotional body. This is connected to this field, that second emotional body, that bliss, that excitement of co-creation, that fire from inside. So it is science. Yeah, this is where we are returning in my vision and my teaching. Yeah.
Fantastic. And science, the word science implies actually the opposite of unity, because they look at every part separately. That's why science and spirituality should have never been split, divided, because there is no such thing. One doesn't go without the other. It's supposed to be together. So what's the word? Let's make up a word for science and spirituality. Spirit, science, scientuality. No, I don't know, something like that. It should really be together, you know, because it doesn't make sense to look at the parts like as if we would be a machine. Just because we call this technology doesn't mean that we are a machine, right? We are totally.
Isn't it metaphysics?
Metaphysics, yeah, that's what comes. Yeah, that's the best word of that. Yeah. Physics, yeah.
It's like metaphysical science.
Yeah. So Where else can we take this now? Let me see if I have a question. Oh yeah, the other thing is comfort. If you look at the word, you know, come forth, comfort. What is coming forth from when you remain in your comfort zone? That's just a play on words.
All possibilities.
Mm-hmm. Now give those possibilities some experience. Let's what for us personally, what are those possibilities that we can actualize? What coming forth from that place of non-limitation, of that feeling good, strutting our stuff, you know, working the law of attraction, working with the universe.
I was thinking when you're saying that it's coming of age, comfort. You know, like when children reach age of 13, they'll have a bar mitzvah in Jewish religion, or some people when they reach the age of 16, they'll have a huge party for their child. It's coming of age. So it's us coming of age now. We're at the point where we're coming of age. So come forth.
Come forth, yeah.
Yeah. From our innocency.
Anyone feeling uncomfortable coming of age?
Like teenagers.
And
sometimes.
Coming of age does not exclude that we act like children, like Alfredo says. Yeah? Coming of age.
Going backwards, like going older to being the adult. I feel like going backward to being the kid again. That's how I feel.
Well, absolutely. But coming of age, I mean, I haven't, you know, if I don't know the exact, if there is a particular definition for that, but that would mean to me that you become the energy of everything. And when I say you become the energy of everything, let's say we're all healers here. We don't have to call ourselves healers anymore. We don't even have to have a website saying we are healers, because we have become the energy of what a healer is. So wherever we go, if we walk through the park, we're healing. We're working with the mycelium. We're working with the trees, with the flowers, with the plants. If we go into a shop, we work with the energies there, and you will be already very much aware of that. Sometimes you walk into a shop and you start yawning, right? Or you start sneezing, or you start runny nose, or whatever else your body uses in order to transform, transmit, transmute energies, because you have become that energy. So it's almost becoming limiting to call yourself a certain, I'm a healer, I'm a therapist, I'm an empowerer. Empowerer for me is becoming limiting. That was the first part of my life, was empowerment, self-empowerment, empowerment. It's becoming now limiting to me. Because now, you know, once you become the energy of empowerment, what else is there? You have to become a visionary, you know, something that is even more towards, even empowerment itself starts feeling slightly limiting. Does that make any sense?
Isn't empowerment sort of like
facilitator, yeah,
in our 3D reality of still a part of the hierarchical nature?
Exactly. That's why it becomes,
that's the limitation.
That's starting to feel limiting to me.
And when you were saying healer, that's a limitation as well. It's a form of the limitation of this 3D reality, because if you're everything that the universe is, then why would you be needing a healing? You're it. You're that thing.
Why would you need a definition of it that divides? You know, if you can be anything in that very moment, And this is always, you know what, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a this, you know, this is why, you know, remember when I went to networking to try to, 60 seconds to introduce my business, this is the most difficult thing I've ever had to do in my life. To limit myself to 60 seconds, this is what I do. I was fighting it for so long. People had no idea what I did because I could not do it. But that was a limitation on my side too. Yeah, because I should have just looked at, and I did in the end, saying, okay, this is what's required right now. So just say I am a Bowen therapist, and that's it, right?
But
so,
also,
go.
Sorry.
Go
Also, I was feeling the word expectations that we put on words too, because we need words to describe things, I feel, you know. So putting that limitation or expectation on what it is a healer is, I expect them to do this, you know. I think just not putting any expectation on anything opens up a lot more. I could feel that opening up.
Yeah, but you see, that was the struggle I had because I wouldn't allow myself to limit myself. But I didn't do myself a favor because people literally didn't know who I was until I realized that I'm just fighting myself here. I am here, so just give them what they can hear.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main thing, you know, get into that space where it's not about me. I know who I am. But what is required right now for me to get what I want? I want a client. So I had to give them something that they could hear.
This is that mastery, being in the world, but not of the world.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Being in that comfort zone, which I wasn't at the time. But not because I felt uncomfortable standing up and saying things, but I was resisting the whole setup. But all I did was resisting myself, was resisting, you know, getting clients through that kind of thing until I got it. And once I got it, it became the energy. This whole thing just fell apart anyway, because it didn't work for me to work that way. Yeah.
So being in the realm of the real, you're in your comfort zone. Or when you're in your comfort zone, you're in the realm of the real, where you are everything. You are the universe. You wear all the hats. You're embodying.
Yeah, you just
you're you're just chilling there, you know, being you.
And this is the thing, as long as we still seek, right? We have not embraced that energy. For all the seekers out there, which I have been and still probably are, seek, more. Yeah. I can do this now from a place of comfort. I don't call it seeking anymore. I call it exploration. What else can I choose? It's not I need to seek something in order to be complete. And I'm nowhere near completeness, but I have to understand that I am. I just haven't remembered it yet completely. But every day,
you were seeking.
Yeah, you're still seeking that wholeness that is already there.
Yeah. Well, we were seeking to get to this point where we're at now, because if we didn't seek, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in the Zoom room if we didn't seek for such a long time. So now that we're in the seeking, we finished seeking, we're here and we're discussing it. We have a better knowledge and understanding to bring a discussion about. Yes?
So there's a different energy. Yeah, the seeking energy is, oh, I'm coming from a place of I'm separate, I'm not complete, right? I'm like, I need something in order to make me feel complete. And the exploration is just, okay, let's explore that. It's a totally different energy, you know? Let's see what other people, you know, bring to the party here. Oh, I haven't considered that yet. Oh, that's an interesting point of view. That works for me. That doesn't work for me. And you just choose, right? And every single piece of information, you know, adds and helps you. It's like breadcrumbs, little bit of breadcrumbs, right? There. Once you arrived at that one, oh, where's the next one? Okay, cool. You know, but not anymore from this place of discomfort. I have to, but from this place of comfort. That's what I'm here for, right? Let's have some fun with this. What can we create? How can we be of service? I mean, that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. And when you're in this place of comfort, you understand that that's what we're here for, to be of service, but not from a place of I need to, from a place of need, because I feel rejected or I feel less if you don't like what I'm saying, but just from a place of, hey, let's share, let's see. Let's have our voices heard, like Arena said, you know?
Yes, yes. The word acceptance is coming up for me now. Acceptance as a appreciation, to value the present moment. Come with me.
So acceptance is a good one too. Let me say something to that, and then look at it again. Acceptance versus allowance. Again, that comes from my access days to look at words. And acceptance is still, oh, I have to accept something. There's still a slight edge of, there's something I need to accept. I need to compromise. Versus allowance is like, yeah, sure, whatever, interesting, yeah. Almost. That's just a very subtle difference.
I see it, yes. That's why I thought about that, and that's why I added value, appreciation. Those were the two words that came to me to expand that limitation.
Play with allowance and see how that works for you. That's more expansive because that includes everything. Being in allowance, whatever they choose, right? Acceptance is still, well, you choose this, I wouldn't choose it, but it's okay. You have my okay, I accept it. Because when you're in allowance, that's another thing. You take out forgiveness. You don't need forgiveness. There's nothing I need to forgive, right? Because I'm in allowance of your choices. Your choices have not necessarily, you know, that I'm not saying scrap forgiveness. I'm just saying the more you work on that allowance and the more you have cleared all your stuff from the past, forgiveness is no longer a big issue. Arena.
Carol,
I see.
what was coming up for me when you were saying that is that the word acceptance is coming up for you, or accepting. What came to me when you were saying that is that the question maybe you should ask is, am I accepting myself coming of age?
In my observation, sometimes this wording acceptance, particularly connected to stage of your coming out from old paradigm. And sometimes we didn't allow ourselves to have toys to play with, that we can be at stage when you need to accept, it's like to see what is around you, what you can bring into your play box, what is already you have a contract with to co-create or codependent. It is like Lana said, stage of our development, our remembering. Sometimes when you're observing what you are accepting, you can make your choices more clear. Sometimes this is only toys you can play. It's like you don't have access to any other toys than just to see what can be acceptable for you. It's kind of like beginning stage of your wider remembering. If you are observing that expectation, like Martina said, not dependent, not just working with what you're accepting or don't accept, it can be helpful in the beginning to expand your toy box and include entire universe in your toy box.
Yeah. Let me add something to that. When we look at what's happening outside, of ourselves, and we are in allowance of that. We are in acceptance of that, and say, okay, well, I accept whatever that is, and this is my comfort zone. I'm happy in my bubble, and that's where I am, and I can accept that. That still for me is an underlying separation kind of thing. There's still a judgment of some sort in that one. When I look at it from an allowance perspective, and that's just me, yeah, I'm just saying, when I look from an allowance perspective, that opens up, it takes the boundaries completely away, and it brings me back into oneness. I can actually, wow, this is what you believe. I'm actually interested in what you're doing. And it's the weirdest thing when I look what's going on, now they're saying the Brits need to get a visa to go to Europe. I can't accept that, because that would be a judgment, but I can be in allowance of that. I'm saying, wow, you guys are fucking assholes. That is so funny. From a non-judgmental perspective, is what I'm almost like wondering, oh my God, what else can they come up with now? That kind of stuff. There's no wall between me and them. It's just like, oh wow, this is hilarious. I mean, wow. I'm seriously thinking, wow, how can somebody come up with that?
And you can cancel that in your universe, and universe will hear you, and something will happen, and that thing will not happen. This is where you step really 100% in co-creation. Yep.
It's like I don't even have to cancel it, because it doesn't create anything for me. Yeah, anything. I mean, obviously, if you get to this, you got to deal with that. If you want to travel and you are British and all of that, it's a different story. But you can still do that without allowing that to impeach, if that is a word, your inner sanctuary, your peacefulness, your calm, your comfort zone. Yes.
Yes, this is how we are different. This is what we will do in our bubble, as we call my universe. For Martina, it doesn't mean anything, that visa thing. For a person who is traveling, if they are in their awareness, in this state of co-creation, they will cancel.
Yeah, but that's where the choices come in. You can choose that. You either don't travel or you do it, but you just don't have a point of view about it. So it's not going to touch you. It goes straight through me. Look at it from an energetic perspective. It goes straight through me. It can't hook anywhere, because I have no point of view about it. I can laugh about it. I can talk about it. I can call them whatever, but that doesn't mean that that's judgment. You see, this is the distinction between awareness and judgment. You can be aware of something, but depending on your emotional involvement, it turns into judgment, or it just stays awareness. And I'm choosing to allow it to be awareness, not turning into a judgment, because that's when the hooks, that's when I would then store it somewhere.
So what you're saying, by consciously not judging them, you're actually taking that power away from them.
Totally. And that's the invitation. It's the invitation that we have to send out to every single one of us, and to every single one. Because if we take the power away, if they say go to war, and everyone says, well, we're not fighting, what are they supposed to be doing? Nothing. They can't do anything.
What they're trying to do is tighten the rein around everyone, because this world is one world. When people go out into space and they look down and they look at our Earth, they're not seeing borders. They're not seeing division of any kind. But the minute you get back here, the system is trying to create borders and divisions all the time.
Oh, well, we're living, this is ripe at the moment. That's what this is all about. Separation. Trying to use that fear to have people really start, fighting with each other. But then I was thinking this morning, I had to think of the Berlin Wall, in 1989. I don't even know the story exactly what happened, but people just broke it down, right? What could they do? Nothing.
Yeah, they took the bricks piece by piece.
They took the bricks out. They got together and said, let's do this. I don't know what triggered it, but we can do this too. Let them build whatever they have to build at the moment. We can
But the more individual people take that power back, the energetic power back from them, the less power they will have to do anything.
That's
because
the
now their power is being waned and diminished to 0 minus infinity. And that's why everyone, as you said, need to do this. Take our power back away from them so they don't have any power to do anything. Then our world could become, open to everyone to go wherever we need to be or we would like to go to.
Yep. Staying in the comfort zone, being comfortable in the comfort zone. No limitations, endless possibilities, unlimited points of views. Awareness trumps judgment. We're doing good, huh? We've already gone 90 minutes, guys. In the flow. Is there anything else, guys, you want to bring up? Comfort, the old way of comfort. And just remind yourselves not to go back in the old box. Yeah. And even if you do, jump back out again. Because we do go back. We forget, right? Distraction hits and off we go, back we are. As long as okay, hi box, no, I've been there before, because the box is still there. Everything is still there. Whatever you heal is still there. That's when the focus comes in. Energy cannot be destroyed. But you can focus. Choose. Not to choose it again. Even if you do choose it, step out. Chloe, hands up.
Hi.
Hi,
I just wanted to say thank you to all of you and for these shows and stuff. I've been listening to them probably since last winter. I found Andrew about a year ago, but I just love listening to your shows. It was so great to be a part of it. And this is a perfect topic for kind of what's going on in my life and, breaking that old paradigm of we need to be uncomfortable in order to grow. And we don't, right? We can grow from our point of comfort and push ourselves from a place of stability and that place of like steadiness and healing. And I don't know, I can't speak right now, but I just wanted to thank you all.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much. And thanks for coming on, Chloe. And I hope, you come again,
Definitely.
Fantastic. Good. Well, this is the thing. You just said stability. I like that, because when you actualize from a place of comfort, you can actually work on stability. Yeah. You can work on of what other words I've written down? Discipline, devotion, and endurance. It's much easier to do that from a place of comfort. Because if you're in disarray and discomfort and being bombarded with all these distractions, how are you going to work on endurance and stability? Discipline, it's almost impossible. You need to have some space. You need to have a comfort zone where you then can work on endurance, because you know what to do, but now you have to do it again. Practice. It's almost like giving yourself the time to practice, because we need to practice.
Yeah.
Because it's, those habit patterns, they're so imprinted on us, these addictions to all this. Now we have to practice, just like we practice when we do yoga or any other, physical exercise.
I also just wanted to add that whole kind of concept of allowance versus acceptance. I've heard you talk about this before, I think on one of the shows with Andrew, and that's been such a powerful tool for me. that is just completely like shifted things, like almost like a 180. So it's really cool.
Fantastic. Good. I'm very glad. Thank you. Fantastic. Endurance. Yeah, here's another big one, Petruska. So many great words. Well, let's see what comes up for next time. I'm always on the lookout. Is there something, oh, this sounds interesting. We can talk maybe about this. And sometimes it takes me until the last day before something pops. So we're going to call it a day. Thank you very much. We've done really well. I'm really.
Alfredo has something to say.
Oh, please. Sorry, man.
Oh no, you're good. I was just it's a question for Amy, because my own personal interest, because I got my 2 autistic kids. But
go for it.
Ask Amy, like, speaking about comfort and discomfort, and you're talking about in the past how you were like, working with autistic kids, and I was just curious, like, how did you feel about, that situation? Like, was it your comfort zone or discomfort zone, or a mix of both, or? Because
yeah.
I just wanted to.
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say like comfort in a way that I knew my stuff that I do with kids, but then the discomfort would come when it was like, oh no, that kid's doing something that I might not know how to do it. And then I worked through that with the child. Does that make sense? Like, I'm comfortable working with them, but then there is a discomfort where I might not know what to do at a certain point. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I was just curious.
Yeah. So, we can talk,
So there's a question that you can ask yourself, Alfredo. Am I willing to be uncomfortable?
And be okay with it.
And everything.
And be okay with it.
Yeah. And everything that doesn't allow you to be utterly uncomfortable, in total discomfort, destroy and uncreate. Because the thing, having chosen to have 2 autistic children is a tremendous gift for you to go into total allowance of what is.
Yeah.
And to let go of whatever other people say, think, project, because in order to be there for them and see them for who they truly are, you have to be in total allowance.
Yeah.
In order to guide them. I'm not saying you become the mat, you will guide them, but you have to let go of everything that you've ever learned about what it's like to be a dad, what a kid's supposed to be doing. Tremendous gift you have chosen, and so everywhere you are not willing to be uncomfortable, because you will be put in discomfort continuously, just when you walk out with them. And
in the morning, like, I don't even get up. I'm like waking up to all sorts of stuff. I'm like, oh man, I haven't even been able to get grounded yet.
Have some fun with it. Have some fun with it. Basically what I'm saying is you cannot give a flying fuck what other people think about you, because they judge you.
I don't give a fuck. I just...
and times a gazillion.
I know my therapist, they got like their set way, like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, like that. I see it with them, and I'm just like, I'm more in an allowance with it, with whatever they're doing, I got you.
What I would suggest is go on to Google Access Consciousness, Access Consciousness, and go on to X-Men. See if you can look for YouTube's X-Men. They do tremendous work with autistic children, and obviously also the parents and everything, and how to deal with it, and actually how to have some fun with that. and see the possibilities and see the greatness of them and all of that. Yeah, just
Okay.
Google it and you find stuff, and there are courses you can go on to if you wanted to, but there's lots out there.
May I say a couple words?
Please, Arina.
You can see your situation not traditionally. You can step into co-creation with your kids and see their state of being, how they came into this world, that they are not exactly grounded to this our reality. They're existing in more expanded reality, and you can start to learn yourself, teach yourself how to co-create with them in that expanded who they are. It's not just physical reality, and they are not centered in physical reality. They're centered somewhere else. You can start to communicate with them on that, from that center where they are, and help them to ground into this world in their way. It will be different, but it can be grounded. This is where you can step into that relation and become master of that. This is where you will understand your kids, and your kids will be assisted in a way they need, a not traditional vision who autistic kids are.
Like that, that's awesome.
One more thing I remember as well is the communication, the language is different. Their language is very much, they're so psychic. So the best thing is less words, but send them pictures. You're communicating with them psychically more than anything else. Yeah, and they are fast as well. By the time you try to explain something, they already know what you're gonna say. So fast. If you want them to do something, the best thing you can do is you actually, before, let's say you go to school with them in the morning, when you get up, you already send them a whole movie in your head of how this is going to happen. We're going to go, we're going to get dressed, we're going to have some breakfast, then you get into the car. Send them the movie, yeah, in your head, the way it will be, and see if it makes a difference for them to comply with much more ease. They need a lot of structure, yeah, as like Arina says, because they are not very grounded. But the grounding that we do is doesn't make a lot of sense for them, I suppose, in many ways. So if you communicate via those mind videos, wanting them, this is how it's going to be. Yeah, so you call the shots. I mean, you're the dad, right? I don't care, autistic or not, you are the guide here. You just have to adapt and find out the best way. But they're just psychic, they're fast, they're bored. Yeah, add stuff to their life, add stuff to their life, let them move. They need that movement. Worst thing they can do is you sit there now for the next half an hour. This is fucking killing. If they can't move, literally give them something, give them a ball they can play with, you know. They just need to have their faculties, you know, engaged. You see, like touchy.
Yeah, he's got to be in everything. Right, yeah, try to close the Zoom.
Good for him. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thanks very much for coming on. Much gratitude as always. And we see you next week.
Thank you, Martina.
Bye.
This was
Bye.
a neat
Thanks
show.
for coming on.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.